Hi, I'm Mark. This is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you guys a review of the X10 Mini Wireless Dashcam from Euki. Now this is a £40 dashcam from Euki, who seem to specialise in making smaller dash cameras. At that price point it certainly makes it a budget end product, but actually it packs a lot in for that price point. And as always with my reviews, I want to start off by talking about the design. Now this dashcam has a modern looking compact design. And one of the first things you'll notice about it compared to other dashcams out there is that it doesn't have a built-in screen. This is because you look at the footage via the Jarvis Cam app on your phone. This app is compatible with Apple and Android. And this feature was actually one of my main reasons for buying this camera over others out there. And that's because personally I find the little screens on dashcams quite distracting when you're driving. The top of the camera has an adjustable arm for getting the position right. The right hand side has a micro SD card slot and a USB-C slot for powering the device, and the left hand side has a button for turning it on and off manually. The device itself is largely black with some striped black and dark grey patterns, and personally I think it looks really good. In the box you also get a long USB-C to 12 volt charger, a spare 3M pad for if you change vehicle, a spludger for tucking cables in, and then all the usual instructions. There is no memory card included in the box, so you'll need to pick up one of these separately. The camera can take up to a 128GB memory card. So continuing on from that, let's talk about specification. So the camera can shoot 1080p full HD video with an angle of 170 degrees. This makes it a really wide angle for getting everything into the frame. It can also record sound, an option you can toggle on or off in the app. In addition to that, it also has crash detection and parking modes. It's worth saying that the parking monitor requires some extra hardware, which I haven't tried. It stores video using that memory card, which I've already mentioned, and then finally you can access that video via the Jarvis Cam app for your phone. This is done via the Wi-Fi network the device creates that you then connect to on your phone. So let's talk about setup. Setting up the camera is pretty easy, but it's going to depend on the car you've got and how tidy you like your cables to be. The camera itself sticks on the windscreen using an included 3M pad. Now personally I prefer this over the suction pad because I think it sticks better. The size of the device means that for me I've been able to tuck it behind my rear view mirror, so it's pretty much out of the way. The included cable is pretty long, however it is attached to a 12 volt charger with no USB sockets on it. That means if you already use the 12 volt charger in your car, you might want to think about picking up a long USB-C cable and an additional USB 12 volt charger. That's what I've done rather than use the included one. When you install it, you can use the included spludger to tuck in the cables around your windscreen. Now I actually fitted this at the same time as my stereo, so I was also able to tuck the cables right behind. Of course, how tidy you want your cables is entirely up to you. Personally, I wanted mine nice and hidden. Once you've got the camera installed, you just need to download the Jarvis Cam app, open it up and follow the instructions for setting up the camera. This is largely done through connecting to the Wi-Fi from the device and then just going into the app and following the instructions. You can then also tweak a few settings if you want to. It's also really important at this point that you format your memory card using the app. This means the memory card will be formatted correctly for the device. All in all, that setup process is really easy. So let's talk about what this camera is like to use. So once you've followed the setup process, it just automatically does its thing. It turns on when it gets power from your ignition, and then it turns off when you turn off your engine at the end of the ride. It also automatically starts recording. And like most dashcams, it records in a loop function. What that means is it records a few minutes video at a time and then starts another file. When you run out of space on your memory card, it starts recording over the oldest file. This means it's always recording and you'll never run out of space. It also has two additional features we should talk about built in. That is the G sensor and the parking sensors. The G sensor is designed to detect a collision and automatically lock that video file. That means if there was to be an emergency, you wouldn't need to worry about your camera wiping over that essential footage. Thankfully, this isn't something I've tested. And then secondly, the 24-hour parking monitor is designed to take a snapshot throughout the 24 hours in which you've parked your car. Now this feature isn't something that works out of the box and does require additional hardware, which actually I can't currently work out how to get from Euki. That being said, I don't think it's something that's worth having, and let me explain why. So on dashcams I've used in the past that also have parking monitors, they only work for as long as the camera has battery. And the size of these devices mean that most of the time the battery life isn't that good. And that's because really they're designed to be used when they're plugged in, they're not designed to hold charge. And so even if you do park your car, then it's likely to only last perhaps for your time at a supermarket rather than perhaps 24-hour parking. That means for most people, whilst this parking feature doesn't come out of the box, it probably doesn't matter. The really important thing is to talk about the quality of video. And in using this, I found that both day and night video is crisp and clear. Particularly when driving at day, I found that it works in both bright and duller settings. As I said earlier, one of the things I really like about this device is the lack of onboard display. That means you can't see the footage as it's being filmed, and it makes it less distracting for driving. If you do want to view that footage, you just need to connect your phone to the camera's Wi-Fi network. From there, you go into the Dashcam app and you can view all of that footage. If there was a piece of footage you wanted to save, you'd simply use the download button in the app. From there, it appears in the Albums tab. If you then want to get it into your phone photos, you need to download it from there. I'm not sure this two-step process is really necessary, but it's easy enough to get your head around. The app also lets you adjust a few small settings. This includes things like device name, quality of video, exposure levels, and whether it records audio or not. And because the Dashcam app is really simple, it's actually really simple to use and get your head around. The only thing to note is that video transfer is a little bit slow. This is because it's done via Wi-Fi and your connection. So all in all, what's the verdict? With an affordable £40 price tag and really decent quality video, this camera is actually really good. For someone like me who doesn't want an onboard display and wants to be able to access video on my phone, the camera sets things up perfectly for me. It means I can easily get video when I want it and I don't have to worry about taking a memory card out and sticking it into a computer. Although of course you could do that. The camera design is modern and it's also small enough to tuck away behind your rearview mirror and forget it's there. The only two downsides in my opinion are the fact that the 12-volt charger it comes with doesn't have an extra USB port, and also that video transfer is a little bit slow. All in all, however, this is a great affordable product. If you've got any questions, do stick them below and I will answer those questions for you. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to pick one up, then I have also put a link below. That link is an affiliate link, so if you use that and make a purchase, it does help me keep making videos for you guys. I'll see you guys again soon.